Poor. What's up, y'all? Brian, Trendline Boys, blah, blah, blah. Let's get an update. What the heck? Something is brewing because there's been some of the worst price action I've ever seen that's made no sense. And my number one rule is or like one of my like top, arguably like my number one rule probably is when analyzing and choosing something to mess with. If it doesn't make sense, don't mess with it. If the price action looks different than anything you've ever seen, ever looking at anything before, nothing making any sense, and the contrary indicators, don't touch it. We started here in something that should have been bearish. We can see the whole start. Boom, can't get above, can't get above. Now we're pushing up. Super weird. Maybe something came out. Like, yeah, we could look at the 30 and say this here, but like, come on, like, right? We started the week strong, started the day under, so we pushed down. It's like it's just one of those things where it's hard to see with the day starting here. It's sufficiently pushing up just based off of TA without something happening. It's really weird. So, and then we look over to here and the weirdest stuff ever. Why? And like I was saying before, like, yeah, we see with the 30s here, no one cares, right? We got oversold, boom, got bought back up, came in the 1 hour, pushed up here. Like I was saying in the stream, why are we not coming here? Here, what's going on? Why even here? Like a little bit higher. Kind of, we did come here, but still, like it just seems like money on the table. So it's so crazy that they just sold it down here, and then we're actually able to keep it down here. I thought they would have let this come up to this area and try to short it here, but there's just so much pressure. Some big boy must really want to get out, I guess, or girl. 2023 person. No. But yeah, like whoa, 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 whoa. Something is going on here. What? Something bad. I mean, not like that, but like I mean, the next place down is like 35. It's 37,500, and we don't want to go back there. So this is I'm not sure what's going on right now. It's not like end of the world. We haven't dropped, but like what are we doing? 4 hours here and the weeks down there that we just pushed off of. There's just a lot of aggressive selling. That's definitely weird. I don't think it needs to happen. And we could say this is, oh, it's like a manipulation for a shakeout to, get people out of their positions. But this doesn't make sense. Well, I'll say it from here. From the 4 hour, it does make sense. But if like the dollar was what was going to push us down on the new week, this doesn't make sense because it doesn't look incredibly bullish right now. I'm not saying it can't go up, but it doesn't look incredibly bullish. So what it's doing doesn't what the dollar has done where it started doesn't seem like it's moved 23 pips. 23 pips. This has moved up. That's it from where it started. 23 pips. So we're 23 pips up, and somehow that equates to like this huge drop. It's very weird. Very, very weird. Looking at big time earlier, which looked really nice. And I mean, it could still go up. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this looks pretty nice on like a 4 hour time frame. Um, but with like like just like any other coin, there's no point in messing with anything. Because like Bitcoin's still on this cliff, with the week time frame down here, but Bitcoin is still on this cliff. Like this is right. Like I said, this is where I add on, this is where I got it off. I don't always know what happens in between. So like anything, I guess I do say can happen in between, but still, this is definitely very abnormal. To me, it's very bearish because it's abnormal. Not saying that I'd short. I probably would if I could. I don't feel like looking at it, and if I really cared that much, I would have just done it up here. I like when I short stuff, I get puts on Mara. But the reason I didn't do it up here is because we didn't have any assured direction. Interestingly enough, from when we opened or whatever, we were somewhere like around here or whatever. When we closed, Mara was actually higher, even though Bitcoin didn't look any better. So that, so right. Um, but yeah, it's just Jesus. I mean, we could just come down real quick. This is crazy. Obviously, by the time this video gets put out, there's a 15-minute delay, so it is whatever. Maybe I can make it private. I might be able to make it private. I don't know if it's worth it, but um, and just update the other video idea. But yeah, this is definitely I think because then if it's private, it goes immediately, and I can just update it. But wow, really shocking, really worrisome. Like the most worrisome thing about this is on our way down. Let me see. Let me get rid of these real quick. Let me get rid of this. Let me see. Is this the 4 hour? So we have our 4 hour here. I don't feel like labeling it. What's this? Okay, get rid of this. So we have our 4 hour here, right? That we can see. I guess technically we'll do this just to show like when it came close to it. So it like makes a little more sense. So our 4 hour, our 2 hours are all the way up here, so no one cares. Days all the way down there, weeks here. So relevant to us, the closest, the 4 hour here that we see that we came super close to, and then right. So the 4 hours here when it came weeks, so it makes sense. And then right, the 1 hour oversold, boom, 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 support. Now we're under this, so this could be the push that sends us down to 37.5. I'm not saying it's going to. It's just a 1 hour. But if we do look at like most relevant time frames, that's what this is telling me that it's going to do. Now, there's been abnormal price action, so it's hard to say if that actually will happen just because abnormal things are happening. Abnormal doesn't mean bearish, right? It could also mean bullish. Obviously things look more bearish now, but the point being, whatchamacallit, what am I going to say? Blah, 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 blah. The point being, I don't know, but the point, only thing I want to say about this is horrible. Like the worst case scenario for that could have happened for this happened. It's just weird. I don't like this. We'll see if it just pushes down. Maybe it pushes down before the video ends. But this is, to me, it's SOS. This is, hopefully you're awake. Hopefully you're looking at this and can get out. I mean, it's already super late to try to get out, but I mean, this could just waterfall. I could see this waterfalling all the way down now. Because when we look, cause this looks bearish on the 1, so we can ignore the 1, and then let's just come back to the 4 hour here, right? I mean, this looks like a bull trap. This doesn't look like a bull trap at all, but this is a bull trap. You're not. It's not a bull trap if you. This isn't a bull trap, or what do you call it? It's not a dead cat bounce or a bull trap. When you bounce and you're above support, it's not a trap. Okay, it's not a trap. Falling under, like a trap is like, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is a bull trap too. Just because I can see it doesn't. I don't know. It's not a big deal. I guess they could both be bull traps. It's fine. Um, to me, this is obvious that it's a trap. To me, this is something you can't see until it switches over. And like, I guess you could say you can't see this until it. Well, technically, this is a reversal. There's no reversal here. It's just resistance and push away. Um, but yeah, regardless, this is super bearish. This is gonna be crazy. Let's see if we go down to 37 right now. I might look to see to put some buys on the books. Oh my god! And look at Doge on the 4. That's a sell from Doge on the 4. That could be what's also leading into a lot. I know when Doge look good. I'm not saying Doge drives everything, but I have noticed when Doge looks a certain way, sometimes like the market will follow. I'm not saying it's a barometer for everything. I'm just saying there's like a correlation, whether it's the cause or not. I don't care. But yeah, I mean, look at this. Nice, nice, nice. We fall. This might actually still be on top. So this isn't the worst. Yeah, this isn't the worst. A little bit of oversold. This is get out. Luckily, it came back up, but geez. Okay, so it's not like the end of the world yet. The worst would be like a 4 hour here, and then like pushing down. But this is still pretty bad. I mean, with the averages this close being here, it's still really bad. I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world. Gosh, especially because like we're man. Okay, that's pretty wild. Crazy to imagine. I didn't think a lot of this would happen. I got it, like I said before. I got in at 8.6. I got out at 10. I thought when I first got in, I got in at 8.6 cents. I put a sell. I think I put 60% at 11.9 and 40% at 19, thinking that we'd hit that in like a week. So much has happened, right? I just had to get out at 10 cents, but how much happened? Memes getting shreked. The 1 hour, let's see, we have the 1 hours and the 2 hours there. What's going on? Okay, so we got a little bit of support on the 2 hour. This is really ugly, though. I mean, look at this on the 1 hour. Oh, yeah, I forgot we're talking about this. Just cannot get above it. Wow, wild. Well, I was definitely right about this when I was talking about it. You just sell it wherever it was and just put an alert and wait for it. Crazy. It's ruined the it hasn't ruined it, but it's definitely made some things look a lot sketchier. Wow, yeah, and I'm not surprised it's pushing down now. Here we do have the 2 hour though. The issue I have with this is I don't trust things like this. So like just how I look at it, it's my experience. When we have something this beautiful and this perfect, you don't want it to come back down and touch. Even though this is slightly higher, this is about as perfect as it gets. I don't think if I had to get, I don't trade off of guesses, right? I mean, I guess you always have to guess, but I don't trade off of like like I try to trade off of like what seems like very sure possibility. It's whatever. This isn't stuff I trade off. I don't want to try to define it too much, but I wouldn't be surprised at this point if we just start under this 2 hour and then fall right back into this range and then get locked under here. I would be really worried to see if we fall under 65 in the 2 hour. We'll see what happens. They're pushing back up on this. All this stuff is abnormal, so I'm not surprised it's getting pushed up just as much as I wouldn't be surprised if it just fell down, but because like anything can happen. But gosh, all over the place. Let's see what some of these other ones are doing. Let's see AVAX. What's that at? Geez, 30. That's not bad. AVAX not that bad. Let's check higher time frame. AVAX one of the really nice ones. Entry, exit, entry, right up, really nice. From a trade perspective, like I said, from a trade perspective, from an invest perspective, it's like right, you're not getting out. But so we hit the 42. Nothing in the 4 hours, all the way up there. 2 hour, 1 hour. Not the worst. In here, oversold. This isn't surprising, but yeah, none of this is surprising. Standard oversell. So we come back up to test. It holds for a little bit. Pressure down. Yeah, so I don't like this either. I mean, we're under these. I imagine we come back up a little bit more, and maybe we just come back down. Wow. But there's averages under us somewhere, right? At around 32. This could come down like maybe another 10%. Wow. This isn't really surprising. The most interesting thing about here is this and this, I would probably say. I mean, let's look on the 4 hour time frame. So I think there's been a lot of data around here before. Yeah, right here, here, right here, here. Like if we look at the other ones, like it's so specific to right here, right? So specific right to where it is. And it's just interesting to kind of see, like, right, we could just see it. Everything was right at this line. And it's kind of weird how it's like, okay, touch, this made sense. Okay, pop up, I don't trust this. Definitely don't trust it coming down like this. But like here and here, like it's like completely avoiding this area, and it's really weird. It's shooting past it, which doesn't make a lot of sense considering that it never really shot past this area in the past without some sort of confirmation. So I think that's interesting. What's interesting? She was nowhere near. Yeah, I didn't think this would. Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday. Anyway, it looked really ugly. I mean, we were talking about this in the stream. Anyway, it looked really ugly. And the unfortunate thing about this is it looks so good on the 4 hour where it was. I mean, right? Like, look at this. This is so nice, especially if we just get before here. Yeah, I mean that looks pretty nice. I think that looks pretty nice. But my biggest concern was like we started the day in a bearish spot, and it's kind of like, well, the 4 hour looks nice, but I don't really expect us to push up here unless if anything, I would have expected a candle like this if we did push up from here. Um, like essentially a candle that just comes all the way back down. That's what I mean. Not one that goes up all this way, but one that goes up and then comes back down. I don't care about these. Yeah, everything's pretty sketchy. I mean, to me, this is overall not seeing any strength. I don't know. I don't want to make any. I don't want to make any judgments. I don't know what's causing all of this. Um, like if it's repositioning for the Fed and stuff, it just seems really weird. Like, why would you do it now? Why wouldn't you have done it like over the weekend when the price action looked horrible? Or why wouldn't you have done it like during hours when we were pushing up when we failed at the 4 hour? It doesn't make it. A lot of it doesn't really make sense. We're pushing up on the dollar. Cool. Like TA wise, I don't see how this materializes in anything. Doesn't mean it can't because the Fed stuff's coming out, but I don't know. I don't want to waste too much time. At the end of the day, this stuff is just something's brewing, and it's wild to see like horrible things happen again and again. If the TA is right, this is pushing down. I don't trust the TA right now. The only thing I don't trust anything in between here. The only thing I trust is a 4 hour starting up here. This is the only thing I trust right now. I don't even trust a bounce if we come down to 37.5. I'm going to be honest. I really don't. Which is why I kind of think it's not going to drop to 37.5. I just think there's too much at stake. I don't think it's worth it. Like, who's gonna put money in here saying like why throw money in now saying nah I can't drop because that would look horrible, because if it does look horrible, God, your position is destroyed, right? So who the heck wants to do that? But I mean, just look at that. On this week, essentially we'd be going here and engulfing the whole previous candle that we just had, and now we're in this territory where all the resistance is down here. What other place do we have but to just straight drop? I mean, and this is going to be a freaking cascade of sells if it comes down here. This could be horrible. Now, I mean, I think everything depends on what happens tomorrow, but they're certainly doing a good job with the shakeout here anyway, it seems. Wild stuff. So, anyway, I am markedly, I mean, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I don't want to say I'm bullish or bearish. I think the easiest thing is I just don't care until we come back above the 4 hour hole. Wake me up when we come back above the 4 hour hole and I'll actually care. And when we come back above here, that's a easy. It's easy, right? That's super easy. Hopefully we're not going to see this into this. This is technically slightly higher, so hopefully we don't see something like that. Anyway, I'm not going to waste my time on this anymore. I'm just going to put this out. This is just kind of, just thoughts on things and stuff like that. And we'll kind of see where things go. I'm going to go back and play some games, and I need to go to sleep. So I might go to sleep. I'm going to play one more game of Overwatch, maybe then go to sleep. Kind of pretty tired. Yeah, and we'll see what happens. But everything's looking pretty ugly. It'll be interesting to see if we start the 2 hour under here and we come back into this range, which is really bad because, a lot of this is pretty top heavy. So being under this isn't really the best. It's not the worst to come back to. This does look nice where it is. But who knows? I don't mind catching falling knives. I don't, but that's only when things make sense. Like if I was to catch something when we came down from here, like okay. But like I don't understand what's going on right now. I don't understand why the price action's so deviated from what it used to be. Anyway, take care, y'all. Peace.